Hi Canada, forgive me for the impromptu setup, I'm just using my phone. Hi, my name is Zara X. I'm a refugee claimant in your country. I'd originally come to your country within a happy marriage, looking to have a new life, a new opportunity, and live in a state of less hypervigilance as I've had to suffer and endure within the United States as a Black trans woman. Unfortunately, because of the events that took place in my marriage and the danger it put me in, even though I was in a foreign country with minimal status, I had no choice but to flee. In the beginnings of this perilous phase, I have met, luckily, fortuitously, Kate Glosson, and she helped me online as I was in a women's shelter, try to begin my bearings and figure out where I need to go, what I need to do in order to be safer and keep going and survive and go through and begin the refugee process. Kate Glosson has been the source of many people's gratitude and thanks that are within the trans community, for she has been doing passionate, devoted activist work for trans people as a trans woman herself since the 90s. And again, without her, I would not even be here now because of my own perils and troubles since having to flee my marriage. But this is not solely about me. Yes, I do need help, I do need protection, I do need support as a refugee claimant trying to find myself in a country where there is no such thing as Little America. There is no such thing as an American refugee community. This does not exist and has yet to be made. It is now being made as we speak as trans people flee up here. But this is about them in general. That is to say, trans people who are fleeing from the United States and trans people who need help to flee from the United States. Kate Glosson and I are working together passionately, with me listening and learning from her advocacy, but I'm having to take the lead as a US trans person to do what we can to gather resources, people, and politics to move and relocate transgender people from the United States up here in Canada. My peers in the United States drastically need help. There are concentration camps. Please pay attention to this issue. You can find me, as I will be a bit out in the social world, at the Langley Pride, where I will be at a BIPOC panel. Additionally, Kate Glosson and I, on the 24th of this month, we will be at Cross and Crows Books. Rather, I will be there in person, she will be there online. We will be doing a live question and answer from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., again, Friday the 24th. We are doing what we can to be available within this Q&A in order to figure out how we can mobilize, move, and bring passion to a larger population within Canada. It's trans people, it's queer people, and any other allies that will join passionately and with commitment to do what we can to politically, socially, and personally help trans people from the United States escape the persecution, genocide of the United States and find home, room and board, shelter, and a new life here in the United States. So thank you very much for watching this video. I look forward to hearing more correspondence. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, I am September Sister, and on Instagram, I am Zara September X. Thank you very much. Bye.
My name is Bruce Walker. I'm a retired lawyer who practiced law in Toronto during the period when the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms was being litigated to bring equal rights and freedoms to the LGBT plus community. Also, I've witnessed the fight for equal rights and freedoms for the LGBT plus community from decriminalization of homosexual sex in 1969 until the present day. In reality, we are discussing human rights. Human rights are those laws and practices that allow people to live authentically as they were born to be. However, an individual's human rights end when they impinge on the human rights of another. Human rights are so important that those who have them will fight with everything they have to deny equal human rights to others. That is why in Canada, provincial governments are using or misusing the notwithstanding clause to take away equal human rights of Canadians. Nevertheless, because of the protections of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Canada has become the dream country for LGBT plus non-Canadian individuals from around the world. These are people who are persecuted in their home countries and would give anything to be able to live here. I've had conversations with such people, and their stories are heartwarming to me, who helped create such a country in which they feel safe and able to live their authentic lives. That brings me to Zara, who is desperately trying to make a refugee claim from the United States of America. Zara's life is in danger where she now lives. I've seen people from other countries, including the United States of America, come to Canada and lead healthy, productive lives that added positively to Canadian society. It is my hope that Zara will be given the opportunity to come to Canada and thrive by living their authentic life. There we are.